Hello, and welcome back to Hunter Tuned. Today we're going to go take the hatch out for a rip and see how this thing's doing now that I got the function form Type 2 coilovers installed. I got the new upper control arms from Fastway Racing or something on eBay. Super nice tube steel upper control arms. I actually linked them in the last video. I linked them in the description, so if you guys are interested in picking up a set of those control arms, they're like 36 bucks and hella worth it. As long as the ball joint holds up, I feel like they're best bang for your buck kind of thing. We also installed some new lower control arm bushings, all poly urethane lower control arm bushings. So this thing is set up pretty good now. I have no alignment yet. I just kind of eyeballed the alignment. The toe is a little bit toed out, and it still does need some attention. So I'm going to be getting an alignment in the next day or two. But I figured we'll take it out for a little spin, considering today it's still sort of nice and the roads are dry. So I wanted to take this thing out while the roads are still dry and see kind of how it's doing and see if the wheel hop is cured with the new coils or if we still have wheel hop and we still need to address the issues. So first things first is I'm actually going to be installing a new map sensor on the car because I've been running this eBay 3-bar for quite some time. I actually got a replacement 3-bar from the seller on eBay. Some of these eBay 3-bars will work, but a lot of times the voltage offsets and stuff in Hondata don't really match up to what it should be kind of thing. Every map sensor is a little bit different, but I'm just going to be running a Hondata 4-bar map sensor on this car because I actually got this from my old CRX that I had last year. If you guys watched the ice racing videos at all, I had a B20 VTEC clapped out pile of junk CRX, and I got it from the guy that bought that CRX because I had a Hondata 4-bar on it. I don't know why I had it on there, but it just happened to have the Hondata 4-bar on there that wasn't actually even being used. So I just said, hey man, can I get that map sensor back? And he gave it back. So we're gonna run this map sensor on there, and I'm also building him a roundy round motor. So that's cool. We're going to be building a high compression single cam, and we're going to be messing with the CRX a little bit, installing a wideband, doing all that kind of stuff in the near future. So be sure to subscribe to my channel to be notified when all this new awesome content comes out. So anyways, we're going to just get to this, install the 4-bar, just 2 Phillips head screws on the top of the throttle body here. I've taken this map sensor on and off probably a couple times already, so the screws should just come out, but sometimes you do need an impact screwdriver to get these screws out. Sometimes they get stuck into the aluminum and corroded into there and whatnot, so an impact screwdriver works. Otherwise, just get the proper size screwdriver and hit the top of the screwdriver with a hammer as you're turning it, and that sometimes rattles them free too. If they break off in the intake, you'll have to get a vice grips or weld a nut on top or something like that to get it out. But like I said, I'm just going to punch these screws out, and then I'll get on the laptop here and kind of show you guys how to adjust the map sensor. It's super easy. And then we'll just kind of warm the car up and then plug the wideband in, because if you guys have been following for a while, you know that my O2 sensor placement on my downpipe is subpar, which you would think if you put it on the opposite side of the downpipe that the moisture would want to hit the left side of the downpipe and it wouldn't actually hit the sensor and the moisture would not get into the sensor. But if I cold start this thing with the O2 sensor plugged in, it kills the sensor immediately. So I have to warm the car up, and then once the car is warmed up, then I can plug the O2 in and tune it, and I don't have any issues. But it's weird because now watching Boosted Boys and stuff, they run their O2 sensors on this side of the downpipe where all the moisture you would think would want to go. So, I might redo a downpipe for this thing and put the O2 on the opposite side and see if I can keep a sensor in this thing, because I'm really sick of plugging it in and out all the time. But yeah, it's weird because if you put it on that side of the downpipe, a lot of people don't have issues, which doesn't fucking make sense to me. But maybe the moisture, the way it hits the downpipe, it hits and then it splashes back again, ricochet off the pipe inside of here. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, so I've spent quite a bit of money on sensors for this damn thing in the past. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to plug this in and we'll get on the laptop. Alright guys, so now we are in the car and I have the Hondata opened up on the laptop here, and I just pulled up my tune. If you guys don't know how to pull a tune up on the Hondata, it's just go to online up here in the corner, and there's a little drop down and it says download right here, and then you just hit download your current tune that's on the file or whatever. And I figured I would kind of give you guys a rundown of the tune on this bad boy, Bad Mamma Jamma. So this is the ignition that I currently have in the car. I do this on, I had a question actually, I sent a base map to a guy and he was wondering why I did this. This is like all zeroed out, so there's no timing on the VTEC side below like $4,000. So that like just pretty much tells you like, hey, if there's an issue with the VTEC and it happens to engage before then, it's not going to have any timing in it, so you'll know there's an issue at hand. That's just kind of like a little safety thing that I do on a lot of the tunes that I run. Obviously my VTEC is set at 5200 down here, so it's kind of nice to just make sure that it's never going to be in this region anyways, so I just zero it out completely. Obviously the VTEC's not going to hit until 5,000 and above, so the timing is really just going to be down here. So yeah, this is the ignition that I currently have in the car. It's pretty conservative, honestly, especially for E85. But yeah, I mean, I'm running like 20 degrees at 8 pounds of boost, 17 degrees at 12 pounds of boost, 16 pounds of boost, we're running 13 degrees. And then I kind of flat line at 7, and I run 7 the rest of the way out of the map. A lot of times guys will quit at like 10 degrees, and they'll run 10 degrees, at 30 pounds and above or whatever. But I'm not really running that high up anyways. I may punch a little bit more timing in here at like 16 pounds and 22 pounds. I might kind of flatline this at 15 and see kind of how it does. But obviously I would like to have this thing on a dyno when I did do that. I just kind of keep the timing really conservative, mainly because I had barely any ignition timing in it when I had the B20 VTEC. But now that we have a GSR in here, I'm not as worried about going as aggressive on the timing. But also this head gasket's been reused a couple times because we had to pull the head on and off 100 times before we even got this motor running. So the head gasket might be a little bit suffering too. So we actually have another block that we're going to be using. We're going to be block filling and then doing possibly O-ringing and stuff like that. So we would probably benefit more with a little bit better motor than what's in here currently. This is just kind of a throwaway motor that I put together as a joke. So we're not going to go too crazy with it. I say that now, and then we'll probably be running 20 pounds by the end of the day. But, so yeah. I don't know where else we can go here. So the map sensor, I just put that Hondata 4-bar on here, and I would totally do a screen capture setup, but my hard drive is full on my laptop, so I can't do a screen capture with this laptop currently. Alright, so let's see. So to change the map sensor, it's over here in the corner. It just says map. Then you click it, and then you click the replacement map sensor, and then there's a drop-down menu here. A lot of times when you have an eBay map sensor, I just play with a lot of the preset ones until one works decent, or I just do a custom one and then play with the scalar and offset numbers. These just happen to be my scalar and offset numbers that I did use with that eBay 3-bar. And it seems to work out. A lot of times you just got to play with the scalar and the offset numbers until the map sensor reads like whatever atmosphere pressure is. So here, normally when you have like a good map sensor hooked up to it, it'll read like 0 or 0.5 or something like that, close to 0, because we're at sea level. But okay, so I just clicked Hondata 4-bar and I uploaded this thing, and I'm gonna show you the cold start stuff that I've done to this map too to get it to start decent. This does have like a 1600cc injector in it, and all I did was add 20% in cranking fuel trim right here, and the cranking base pulse I also adjusted. Alright guys, so I'm really sorry I don't have that screen capture set up right now. I wish I did. But anyways, so the cranking base pulse is the one that kind of made the biggest difference with the cold start stuff. The factory cranking base pulse numbers that are labeled under the coolant temp down here, it is cranking base pulse and it's under fuel trim. So the fuel trim and then cranking base pulse, a lot of these numbers are a lot higher than this, and I kind of just cut them all in half. And that kind of lets the injector work less or more, I'm not exactly sure. But it kind of cuts down the amount of fuel that gets thrown into the motor. Sometimes these big injectors will flood the motor, on a cold start, and sometimes they will not deliver enough fuel. So if you mess with the cranking base pulse and you either take away pulse from it or you add pulse to it, it can actually get the car to fire better or worse or what have you. A lot of times just playing with those numbers kind of all as a whole will get you kind of where you need to be, and that's just for cranking. So if you mess it up, it's literally just going to have issues when it's cranking. When it's running, it won't affect it at all, kind of thing. So yeah, anyways, this thing cold starts pretty damn good. I am in Wisconsin here, and this does have E85 fuel in it, and it fires up honestly really good. This starts better than any E85 car I've had. My truck starts like a pile of junk, and that's on E85. I just have the HP tuners on that one, so it's a little bit harder for me to figure out the cold start stuff with it, but the Hondata stuff I'm a little bit more familiar with. Look at that. Fired right up. Fired right up. So obviously we have that new map sensor installed in right now, so it's running a little bit rough. I'm going to have to probably do some adjustments, because this map sensor probably reads a little bit different than the eBay 3-bar that I had on there. But we'll have to let it warm up a little bit so I can plug my wideband in. I also have the wideband wired into the computer so I can data log it as well. But we can look at the display here and data log, and we can see that the map sensor is, well, it's not reading. What the hell? That's weird. Well, my map sensor is reading 0.5 pounds of boost just sitting here. That's kind of weird. I thought this map sensor would have been good, considering it is a Hondata 4-bar. It's going to be super rich if it reads that. What the heck, man? We got a pin that's loose or something in this thing? I wonder if it's bad. Dang. That sucks. Let me see here. Well, that's freaking stupid. I guess I'm gonna have to switch back to the other sensor. I think this one's bad. Dang. Dang, I really wanted that to work. Oh well. So I'll just switch back to this one and upload the settings that I did have in the car, and it'll be all good to go, I guess. Alright guys, so we are out driving the hatch right now, and I'm just tuning some drivability stuff right now. I got the idle running way better. This was really rich before, and I had to switch back to the other map sensor, obviously, because the eBay one was giving me issues. And the car was out of gas, so I was trying to like drive it around and get into boost and stuff like that, and it was going lean. Because when this car gets below like a half a tank, it starts to do that. When you get into boost, it'll go lean. But anyways, I'm working on the fuel map right now, trying to get this thing lined back out. It's still really rich, so I'm gonna adjust on the fuel map here. It's rich when I come into boost, so I'm gonna pull like 10% out of this area here, because that's kind of where it's running on the non-VTEC side. Once it hits VTEC, it's fine, but before VTEC, it's totally rich. So I'm gonna try to adjust some of this stuff. A lot of this is really rich. I don't know why, but it's been a while since I played with the tune on this car, so I'm just kind of smoothing out the map right now to kind of accommodate the changes that I just made to the lower end of the map. And like I said, the VTEC side is dialed. It seems like it's dialed. So I think it's on like 10 pounds of boost right now. And I did a little short pull in second, and it's just blowing the tires off, but it's not wheel hopping. I'm stoked. It's never had this much traction in second gear. Ever. Ever. Like, it actually has decent traction right now. It also rubs really bad. I have to roll the fenders or raise the suspension back up in the back. But I'm gonna try a third gear rip and see where the tune is and see if it hops or hooks up or what it does. That's gotta be 20 pounds of boost. That was 11. What the fuck? It rubs really bad. The suspension literally made this car act totally different. Like, it feels 100% faster. Like, even my girlfriend was like, holy shit, this thing actually kind of scoots. And it takes a lot to impress her, so. So I'm gonna try like first into second. Like I said, this alignment is fucked, but it's already way better. It's way better still. So it does hop a little bit still, but it's way more subtle. But I want to try like a banger first, second gear and see if it wheel hops then, because I've never been able to do that in this car because it hops so damn bad. Okay, so the alignment is totally fucked on this thing. Like, you can kind of tell when you're driving it. It wants to pull you left and right and all that shit. But I guarantee you, when I get an alignment on this thing, it's gonna be freaking awesome. It is smoky in here, babe, because the oil catch can is right by the firewall, and there's a hole right by the firewall. And this cylinder has a gouge in the sleeve, so it has a lot of blow by. Why'd you put it together like that, right? Yeah, I know. I should not have done it. This thing fucking rips on 10 pounds, though. Like, she hauls the mail. I don't know, it just feels fast. I guess it's been a while since I've been in a faster car, but...
Probably is not the most ideal street for you to do this on. Or at all. There's always cops on this street.
Oh.
Yeah.
When have you seen a cop?
A lot.
On this road? I've never.
those gears like a champ.
It's so much different now that it doesn't wheel hop. Like, it actually shredded to the rev limiter there for a second. I don't even know what the rev limiter's at, but this car's never shredded tire to the rev limiter. It's always hopped its way to the rev limiter. Like you felt it a little bit when it was wheel hopping. So it's not 100% cured yet, but we'll get it. I gotta fix this fucking rubbing. Alright guys, so we are back at the house now. I had to bring the car back home because the tires are rubbing very bad in the rear. The front isn't rubbing at all because I don't really have the front that low. The car is actually pretty level right now, maybe just a little bit raked, as in like the front's a tad bit lower. Nothing crazy, but the back, because of these wheels that are on the car, it is rubbing on the fender a little bit, so I'm actually going to be taking it over to my buddy's shop, and he's got a fender roller, so he's going to actually roll the fenders for me in the back, so we can get some more clearance in order to be able to run these wheels, because I actually really like these wheels that are on the car. I feel like they just fit the car nice, and I have these BF Goodrich G-Force Sport Comp 2 tires on these wheels, and I'd like to keep this tire and wheel combo on the car, and I would like to keep the ride height where it's at as well. So really the only thing I can do to alleviate this issue is either tip the wheels in really far or get the fenders rolled a little bit. I'm not going to roll them like crazy big, just enough so it clears. Hopefully rolling the fenders does the trick, but like I said, it's rubbing super bad, so we had to bring the car home, and obviously we brought the car home and the weather turned to absolute shit. So it has been raining for like ever. It's actually the next day now. We actually just kind of brought the car in and haven't really been doing a whole lot with it. I wanted to get some tuning fucking video in and some pulls and stuff like that, but we did like that one pull on video, and I got like 2 things sorted out on the tune, and then the weather turned to shit and the tires were rubbing really bad, so it kind of sucked and wasn't able to do a whole lot. That's kind of what you fight with here in Wisconsin, especially in the wintertime with the weather. It's either snowing a lot or raining a lot or cold or what have you. So not saying that's my excuse, but it is kind of my excuse because I didn't film shit. I'm sorry. I would love to get some more pulls in with this thing, but I want to be swapping this block out pretty soon. I want to switch it over. I got this GSR block over here. This is a good GSR block, I'm thinking. So I might swap a lot of this stuff into that block. And yeah, so anyways, the 4-bar had an issue. I don't know if I talked about that a whole lot, but the 4-bar Hondata sensor had an issue where it was only reading 0.5 pounds of boost, and it was reading that at idle, and that's just kind of, it was just a bad sensor. So I swapped back to the eBay 3-bar sensor, and now the car runs fine just like it was before. I just wanted to switch to the Hondata 4-bar for more reliability, and turns out that it doesn't even work. So I'm either going to have to get a different 4-bar Hondata or Omni sensor, or I'm just going to stick with this eBay 3-bar. And I have a stock map sensor that I keep in my cup holder just in case this thing goes out, because I don't want to be stranded. So I feel like I have that stock sensor just in case, and I can always switch the tune to the stock map sensor to get me home kind of thing, and that's what I had to do one time a long time ago. But anyways, so hatch is doing really good. I'm going to have to do an oil change on it here pretty soon, but I'm probably going to drive this thing over to the shop and pick up in a little while when we get there. I cleaned my truck out fucking last night, and I had a bunch of wheels and tires back there that I took out to my storage unit, and yeah, so I don't know, I've been messing with some stuff here and there. I did get some stuff in the mail today for this A6 build that we're going to be doing. I got the cam sent out to John at Delta Cams. He got that thing today. He's probably going to be grinding it today, maybe sending it back tomorrow or the next day. So I'll have the cam for that thing. And yeah, I think that's it. CRX, obviously that's going to be another main priority here soon. And then I'm still waiting on the UPS guy. The last video I talked at the end, and I'm like, holy fuck, I'm waiting on UPS here. It's been out for delivery since Saturday, and it is now Monday at like 6 o'clock, and it's still not here. So I'm waiting for UPS to drop off this freaking turbo for the Caprice so we can get that thing pounded out. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna actually squeegee the garage quick because it's super wet in here from the snow and water. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I actually went and bought a squeegee because the squeegee I had it busted. So I'm going to back the cars out, squeegee the garage floor out, and then maybe pull this thing back in and throw the bumper back on because this thing looks way better with a bumper on it. So I'm going to do that. I might order a front lip too. I might order a lip, like an eBay front lip for this thing because I think it would look really good with a front lip. So yeah, I'm going to get to work. This alignment is fucked. I need an alignment bad. Alright guys, so the hatch is finally up and running good. I actually just left my buddy's shop, Seven Sons Garage on Facebook, if you guys want to go check it out. He does a lot of fender rolling and a lot of like, kind of like stance cars and stuff like that. So he actually ended up rolling my fenders and I am very impressed actually. He rolled the rears only because the fronts didn't really need it at all. I was going to film when I was there, but I fucking totally spaced out and didn't. So I apologize. But yeah, like I said, I'm pretty impressed. He just has like one of the, I think it's Eastwood fender roller tools that bolt onto the hub, and then he just takes a heat gun, kind of heats it up, and then just rolls the fender, you know, a little bit. And he rolled the fender, and I was like, dude, that is not enough. Like, you did not roll that fucker enough. And sure shit, I drive this thing home, and you literally cannot tell at all where he rolled anywhere on this fucking fender. It looks factory still. It's just this inside lip. The inside lip on the fender is now like tucked up a little bit, or rolled, you could say, and it definitely took care of all the rubbing issues. Like I said, I can't believe how much it doesn't rub at all from the little bit that he did, which is crazy. He kind of knows what he's doing, and shows that he's done this a time or two. So definitely cool that he helped me out. Get those fenders rolled. Now I just got to get a damn alignment because the alignment, like I said, is kind of screwed on this thing. So alignment is next, and then the hatch is done, guys, other than put a new motor in it. But this thing drives fucking awesome now. It's super cool driving over big bumps and not fucking rubbing. And yeah, I'm stoked. So anyways, I'm actually going to be pulling the Caprice into the garage again, and we're going to be working on the Caprice now, the cop car. So I'm going to end this video off here, and Michael's going to stop over. We're going to work on the Caprice a little bit, and then maybe tomorrow we might stop out at my buddy's house with the twin-turbo Camaro. And we're actually going to be doing some measuring on Michael's crank and the rod journals and all that stuff to get the proper clearances to make sure that he never spins a bearing again, kind of thing. So we are definitely going to go check that stuff out with Michael's car, and then work on the Caprice, get the new turbo on it, and see if that fixes the smoking issue. But yeah, so anyways, thanks for watching this video, guys. I really appreciate all the support. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let me know what you guys want to see. I like getting your guys' feedback and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, anyways, have a great night, guys. Have a better tomorrow, and we'll see you later.